The night of our wedding anniversary, Jason's text came through. Olivia, a client's flying in last minute. Only free tonight. I have to go. A few seconds later, another line. Let's push the anniversary back 2 days. I'll make it up to you. Double. I answered with 2 words. Okay. I built Sterling Group from nothing. And every partnership crosses my desk first. In the last 3 months we haven't scheduled a single new client talk. I didn't poke holes. Only one lamp was on in the living room. The dishes on the table were cold. He'd had the chef prep them 2 days ago, promising a surprise. Not one bite taken. I lounged on the sofa scrolling my phone. A new post bubbled to the top of the feed. Brielle. 2 minutes earlier. Worked so late I couldn't get a cab. Lucky Morgan personally drove me home in the Bentley. Best boss ever. 2 photos underneath. First shot. Bentley passenger seat angle. A hand on the steering wheel. Wedding band on the left ring finger. I recognized it. Jason's and mine. Second shot. Living room of an apartment. Jason half reclined on a sofa. Red wine in hand. Jacket draped over the arm. Tie loosened across his chest, completely at ease. I stared for 5 seconds. Then I hit like. I opened a message to Henry, the HR director. Effective immediately. Strip Jason of all VP duties. Reassign him to company shuttle driver. Requirement. Drive employees to and from work daily. 1,000 trips total. Each rated by passengers. Miss 1 trip or get 1 bad retinue reinstatement. A dozen seconds later. Received. Jamie. I laid the phone face down on the coffee table. The food on the table had gone stone cold. I rose and carried the plates to the sink. Scraping them clean. 3 years ago he knelt in front of me and swore he'd love only me for life. 3 years. To the day. That promise expired tonight. In Brielle's apartment, Jason set down his glass. His phone rang. He glanced and picked up. Taylor. What's up? Casual tone. Casey. Henry answered flatly. Per top-level order. You are relieved of all VP duties effective now. You're transferred to shuttle driver. Jason froze. Glass in hand. What did you just say? Know who you're talking to. Crystal clear. Your new post is driving the company shuttle. Daily employee transport. Target. 1,000 trips. Real-time passenger ratings. 1 missed trip or 1 negative Scarino reinstatement. He hung up without another syllable. Jason sat frozen. Phone in fist. In the entire group only one person could strip his title without board approval. His wife. He yanked his phone back open and found Brielle's post. The very first like came from Olivia. He spun toward Brielle, still scrolling on the opposite sofa. Face darkening. What did you upload? Who told you to post that? Delete it. No. Brielle flinched. Eyes red in seconds. Morgan. I didn't mean to. I was touched and shared without thinking. I never thought it'd blow up. It's all my fault. I'm so stupid. Her voice shrank as her head dropped. Jason's anger cooled. Forget it. It's not you. It's my slip. Brielle lifted her tear-streaked face. You should hurry home. Don't fight with her because of me. I don't want to cause trouble. Her vulnerability tugged at him. Don't stress. I'll go sort this and be right back. He grabbed his jacket and left. A 20-minute drive he finished in 10. I sat on the sofa when the door burst open. Urgent footsteps. Breath-catching. Stopped a few paces behind me. I didn't turn. Just flicked through channels with the remote. He didn't dare step closer or speak. He knew better than anyone. Everything he had came from me. A fresh graduate who couldn't make rent. Plucked by me from intern to VP. The company was mine. The shares I'd granted him after marriage. Every bit of swagger he wore outside traced back to me. Silence stretched. Then the sound of knees hitting hardwood. Jason knelt behind me. I paused the remote and turned slowly, surveying the man on the floor. Soaked. Hair plastered to his forehead. Shirt a crumpled mess. When our eyes met he lowered his head. Voice trembling. Olivia. I messed up. I shouldn't have lied. Brielle lives far and it was pouring. Everyone else had left. I just gave her a ride, nothing more. At her door she insisted I come up for a drink to warm up. I couldn't refuse. Stayed 10 minutes. That's all. Nothing else. Olivia. Believe me. I let him ramble. He spoke almost 10 minutes. By the end his voice was hoarse. Only then did he go quiet. Head still bowed. I finally spoke. Tone flat. Stand up. He hesitated. Then pushed off the floor. Hands at his sides. He avoided my gaze. Jason. This is strike one. You've seen the memo. New position. Follow procedure. 1,000 trips. Not one less. Finish clean. And I'll pretend this never happened. He lifted his eyes to interject. I raised a hand. I don't want to hear that story again. The leash is long enough. Whether you hang yourself is up to you. It's still our anniversary. I won't let you ruin it. If you've said your piece, go to the guest room and stay out of my sight. I dismissed him with a glance. He lingered a second, then trudged toward the guest room. Footsteps faded down the hall. I killed the TV. The house fell silent. Fine. Round one. I threw him a rope. There wouldn't be a round two. Next morning I came downstairs and Jason was already at the table, shirt pressed, hair neat. Last night's wreck gone without a trace. Seeing me, he jumped up and pulled out my chair. Olivia, you didn't sleep well. Mrs. Lou made congee for your stomach. Have some while it's hot. No mention of last night. As if the page had turned and he was still VP Sterling. I sat and gave him a look. When you're done, head to the office. Relief washed over him. Great. I'll bring the car around. Wait for you at the door. He reached for the Bentley key, assuming all was forgiven. Stop. My quiet word froze him. He turned, puzzled. I ignored him and called Mrs. Lou. She appeared promptly, carrying 2 items. A navy short-sleeve uniform shirt embroidered with the Sterling Group logo, the lettering underneath reading commuter services, and an old key ring with a numbered fleet tag from administration. Jason stared at the shirt. The color drained from his face. He bit back his pride. Olivia. Don't do this. I'm the group VP. Dressing like that disgraces not just me, but the company. I watched his performance. Jason. You still don't get it. The memo took effect last night. The entire company knows your new title. The Bentley belongs to the VP and you're no longer VP. Your vehicle is that van. I pointed at the uniform. Policy. Commuter drivers wear company-issue attire. That is your shirt. Of course. You can refuse. I checked my watch. Refusal equals absence. 3 absences. Automatic termination. Terminate for cause and you walk away with nothing and every share reverts to me. Your call. No room for haggling. In this house his vote has never counted. Jason clenched his fist. Temples pulsing. He craves face, but fears poverty more. When money is on the line, dignity is cheap. He snatched the uniform. Fine. I'll wear it. He looked at me, eyes full of grievance. Olivia, if this is what it takes to calm you, so be it. I'll show you my heart is real. This little test is nothing. Yet he didn't move. Waiting for my pity. I'd hurry. Morning rush is heavy and your first run is already queued. Don't keep the staff waiting. Alex. Color drained from his face. Clutching the uniform, he bolted to change. 5 minutes later he stood by the door in that deep blue shirt. The words commuter services glaring from his chest. I didn't spare him another glance and climbed into my own car. Just then his phone rang. Caller. Diane. His mother. He answered. Before he could speak she exploded. Jason, has your wife lost her mind? How dare she make you a driver? Tell me everything. Mom, how did you even? How? The whole company knows. Your cousin works for one of our suppliers. She saw the memo and called me. I don't care what happened. A wife can't humiliate my son like this. I'm flying in tomorrow. I'll ask her to her face. Who does she think she is? The line went dead. Jason lingered on the threshold, cheap key in hand. Unmoving. He knew his mother would only pour gasoline on the fire and he couldn't stop her. After I reached my office I opened my laptop. Maya had already patched in the shuttlecam feed. Live picture. Jason in the driver's seat. Face the color of cement. Olivia. You vindictive. He slammed the wheel. Curses spilling out. He clearly doesn't know about the camera. I smiled at the screen. Can't take even this little heat. Wait till he sees who's riding his very first route. 10 a.m. The next day Diane arrived. No warning, she barged past reception straight to my door. The front desk couldn't stop her twice. She burst in, planted herself on my sofa, thermos in hand. Olivia, get out here and explain. I stayed behind my desk. Auntie, I told you last time, call first. Call. I rang 3 times, no answer. I was in meetings. Didn't notice. Cut the crap. She slammed the thermos on the coffee table. Why is Jason suddenly a driver? He's your husband. You're disgracing the Sterling family. Auntie, Jason's transfer was triggered by personal misconduct that violates company policy. For details you'll have to ask him. I did. He said he only gave a female colleague a ride. What's the big deal? Men network, it's normal. How can a woman be so petty? I looked at her. Auntie, dropping someone off doesn't require coming upstairs for an hour-long glass of red wine. And it definitely doesn't require lying about an urgent client on our anniversary. Diane paused. But that's no reason to strip him of his title. The whole company is laughing at the Sterling family. Family reputation is something you should discuss with the person who did wrong. My job is to run the company. You. She stood up, finger stabbing toward me. Olivia, don't think your money gives you the right to bully people. Jason is your husband. Humiliating him in public is slapping my face. I'll say it again. This is an internal management decision. Nothing personal. If you disagree, Jason is free to file a standard appeal. Appeal. My foot. You're abusing your power. If this marriage falls apart, don't expect to walk away clean. Auntie, whether I divorce is my business, no one else's. If you're finished, I have a 2 o'clock. Diane's face flushed scarlet, lips trembling. She jabbed her finger once more, met my stare, and finally swallowed the rest. Just you wait. She flung the threat over her shoulder, grabbed her thermos, and slammed the door. The instant it shut, Maya poked her head in. Jamie. Half the corridor heard. Let them. What's Jason saying? He just made 3 calls from the van, all to his mom plotting. I guess. Fine by me. I slid open a drawer and pulled out a file. Yesterday's preliminary quarterly audit. One page was tagged red. Over the past 12 months, marketing had logged 7 untraceable expenses, ranging from $150,000 to $2,006 million total. Every approval bore the same name, Jason. 4 transfers went to the same third-party account. Company name I'd never seen. A quick search. Incorporated 6 months ago. $100,000 capital. 0 operations. Legal representative. Brielle. I closed the file. Maya. On it. Dig deeper. I want every off-budget dollar Jason ever authorized. Dates. Vendors. Accounts. And pull every asset Brielle owns. Timeline. 3 days. Got it. She left. I spun my chair toward the window. $6 million, and that's just the opener. Jason, you're even dumber and greedier than I thought. Jason steered the company van out the gate. At the red light he glanced at the driver app. First assignment already waiting. Passenger. Brielle. Pickup. 8, Maplewood Lane. He froze. That was Brielle's building. Olivia, you did this on purpose. He punched the wheel, cursed, and drove anyway. Outside 8 Maplewood. Brielle stood in a white sundress, clutching a microbag. Eyes on her phone. The van pulled up, window sliding down. She looked in, saw Jason in navy uniform at the wheel, and her phone nearly slipped. "M. Morgan, get in." The words ground through clenched teeth. "Why are you dressed?" "Shut up and move." She climbed into the back, hands shaking. Neither spoke. At headquarters he stopped under the main canopy, peak rush hour. Foot traffic everywhere. Brielle slipped out head down. But too late. Staff froze. That's Brielle, right? She got out of the shuttle van. Wait. Is Morgan the driver in a security uniform? Eyes swiveled like searchlights. Then every phone pinged at once. Company-wide HR blast. Mine buzzed too. Personnel update. Effective immediately. Former VP Jason is reassigned to commuter services driver due to personal misconduct. He will transport employees to and from work. Please rate his service in real time. Ratings factor into continued employment. A beat of silence, then muffled laughter erupted. Hundreds of eyes locked on Jason. Mocking, pitying, hungry. His last shred of dignity was ripped away in plain view. Brielle went white, spun on her heel, desperate to distance herself. Jason lost it. He leaned out, shouting, "Brielle, you booked the ride, stand still. Where the hell are you going?" The shout nailed her in place. The circle of spectators widened. From my office I watched the live feed. Reclined, sipping tea, entertaining. Maya stepped in with a fresh folder. "Jamie. First results on those transfers." I set the cup down. Talk. 8 large wires funneled to a Brielle Shell Corp, total 14 million. 8 bought 2 condos. Owner, Brielle. Another $500,000 SUV funneled through marketing. Registered to a Shell fronting for her mother. I leafed through clean. Itemized. 14 million. I closed the file. Jason. You thought I wouldn't notice. I dialed legal. Freeze every corporate card. Every account. Every reimbursement line tied to Jason. Pull 3 years of statements, no gaps. I turned back to the window. The van still sat curbside. Crowd thinning. Jason slumped over the wheel. Complexion ashen. Jason, you think driving in uniform is rock bottom? We haven't even started. Maya knocked again while I reviewed the detailed report. 8 million. 2 condos. Brielle's name. A 50 grand SUV routed through marketing. Paper trailed to her mom's Shell. Every cent mapped. He used my money to keep his mistress housed and chauffeured. Then knelt and claimed. I only gave her a lift 10 minutes max. I closed the folder. Maya. Where's Jason now? Commuter run. Just left gate, GPS shows west side. Bring him back. 20 minutes later Jason trudged in. Uniform rumpled. Face gray, still replaying the lobby humiliation. Olivia. You wanted me. Straight to business. I slid the file across. Look. 2 pages in. The blood drained from his cheeks. These are internal ledgers. How did you? I sign off on every ledger. Did you think I wouldn't audit? He stared. Mute. 8 million in condos. 50 grand SUV. All in Brielle's name. Care to explain? Olivia. I can explain. Explained 14 million of company cash into your girlfriend's pocket. Try me. His mouth opened. Nothing came. Last chance. What exactly are you and Brielle? A long silence. Adam's apple bobbing. She's pregnant. The words landed like stones. I didn't move. Pregnant. 2 months. I waited 5 beats, then laughed. Cute. I stood. Circled the desk. Effective now. Every card. Every account. Every reimbursement line you have is frozen. I'm handing this file to audit and counsel. Every dollar comes back. You have 3 days to sign the divorce papers. Community property clause. You keep your clothes. Nothing else. You're throwing me out. Name an alternative. Olivia. I gave 3 years to this firm, blood, sweat, weekends. You can't toss me for one mistake. One mistake. I eyed him. 14 million. 2 condos. An SUV. And a supposedly pregnant mistress. One mistake. He clenched his fists. Speechless. 3 days. Force me into court and I'll bury you. You can go. Alex. He hovered. Knuckles white. Then stalked out. The instant the door shut, Maya appeared from the side office. Jamie. Update on Brielle. Speak. After the lobby scene, she posted a novel on social media, claims you're weaponizing power, bullying a lowly assistant. Ends with, I'll protect my baby no matter the injustice. Comments are 90% sympathy. She's good. I set the phone down. Let her monologue. Evening. Maya again. Jamie. Brielle slipped off to Eastbrook General this afternoon. Anne. OBGYN workup. Result. Not pregnant. I put my pen aside. Confirmed. Copy of the report, dates. Values. Everything. No pregnancy. Never was. I smiled. Another lie. Does Jason know? Unlikely. She went alone. Kept it from him. I leaned back. Jason. You took every bullet for a con woman. Pathetic. File the report could be useful. After Maya left, I reread Brielle's post. Careful phrasing. Buzzwords like protect my baby. Capital versus employee. Local gossip pages already screenshotting it under tycoon crushes little guy. Public opinion is tilting against me. Such calculated scheming. The bigger the show, the more spectacular the crash. I opened my contacts and scrolled to one number. Nicole, college roommate, now a partner at a boutique PR firm. I typed, "You around? Need a favor." 3 seconds later, "You're texting me. Must be serious. Spill. Dig up everything on someone. Brielle, 26, assistant at Sterling. I want her full timeline aliases, jobs, scandals, the works. Timeline. 72 hours. Done. You jump my queue." 72 hours later, Jason never showed to sign the divorce papers. Instead, a long message landed in my inbox. "Olivia, I've thought it through. I know I screwed up, but I'm not giving up on us. I'll make Brielle end the pregnancy. I'll claw back the house and the cars, just give me a little more time." I replied with 4 words. Time expired. Then I told Maya to send the cease and desist. That afternoon Jason didn't clock in. I didn't care where he'd gone. The same day, Nicole's file hit my drive. A thick report. I read it cover to cover. Brielle, born Shaw Schauman. 3 years ago she was admin at another firm. Sleeping with the married director. The wife found out. Stormed the office. And the whole mess ended in a hush settlement. Director paid 300 grand. Schauman resigned. She changed her name, hopped to Sterling, and marked Jason as the next rung. Emery, assistant flirt promotion. Exact replay. A career con artist. I closed the dossier. Nicole pinged me. "Your ex is being fattened for slaughter. Last time 30 grand shut her up. This round she's asking 14 mil. Want me to leak this?" Not the right stage yet. A few days passed. Jason began showing up for every shuttle shift. No tardies. No early quits. His driver rating hovered just above the red. He quit the back of fan trash talk. Came home to the guest room. Even carried my dinner plate. Outwardly, the picture of remorse. One night he knocked on my bedroom door. "Olivia, I brewed you chamomile." I opened. He stood cradling the cup. Eyes pleading. "I know I put you through hell. I'm changing just a little longer." I took the mug. "Finish your routes today." All done. Ratings. Perfect 5s. Good. Get some sleep. I shut the door. Had it ended there, I might even have thrown him a rope. But deep that night, as he showered in the guest bath, his phone on the nightstand lit up. I was passing. The door was ajar. Preview bubble. Sender. Brielle. J. Hold tight. The money you moved, she can't trace the endpoint. Once the heat's off, The line cut. I stared for 2 beats, never touched the handset, and walked back to my room. Before I closed my door, I texted Maya. Tomorrow. Confirmed to every VP and partner. Next Wednesday's quarterly product showcase stays on schedule. Also, format Brielle's OBGYN report plus Nicole's background package into slides ready to screencast. I set the phone on the nightstand. "Jason, you think you're Oscar material. You didn't even grab the right script." Show day. 120 execs and allies filled the auditorium. Jason, now the staff driver, had no badge to enter, but Brielle slipped in. Someone tipped her. She drifted by the check-in table in virginal white. Soft and silent, uninformed partners whispered, "Who's that?" The assistant linked to Morgan's Veep, apparently pregnant. She pretended not to hear, lips curled in a tiny smile. She wanted the room to see the victim in my home turf. If I ignored her, I looked like a bully. If I challenged her, headlines would scream. CEO attacks expectant employee. Either lane favored her. Too bad she didn't know I held a trump card that would torch the whole board. 15 minutes before kickoff, I had Maya hand me master control of the projector. I stepped to the stage. Before we begin, quick housekeeping. The hall hushed. 100 pairs of eyes locked on me. I signaled Maya. The screen filled. Women's Wellness Center lab report. Patient, Brielle. Date, 6 days ago. Quantitative HCG, 1. Conclusion. No intrauterine pregnancy detected. A low tide of murmurs rose. Brielle's face drained to paper white. This is Ms. Shaw's test from last week. She isn't pregnant contrary to the claims she made to my husband and on social media. Pin drop silence. Every gaze swiveled to Brielle cowering near the exit. I clicked again. Name change filings. HR records from her last firm. The earlier affair. The payoff pages flipped like indictment sheets. Brielle was Shaw Showman 3 years ago. Same playbook. Befriend married exec. Fabricate crisis. Pocket 300 grand. Rebrand. Repeat. This time the price was 14 million, 2 condos and a sports car. Pregnancy. Fake. Victimhood. Fake. The only genuine thing is the transfer of company money. Not even the HVAC dared hum. Brielle's mouth trembled. You're lying. She shrieked. You can't leak my private medical data. I'll sue. I met her glare. Try me. But first ask counsel which carries longer. Exposing a non-existent pregnancy or wiring yourself 14 million in embezzled funds. She froze. No ally spoke. 1 beat. 2. 3. She spun and fled. Staccato heels hammering marble. No one followed. No one blocked her. As the door slammed, I spoke. No, let's start the showcase. Applause broke out, not polite, but roaring. Afterward, Nicole rang. Bravo. Someone filmed. It's ricocheting through industry WhatsApp already. Appreciate it. Don't thank me. Heads up. Your ex is palling around with Marcus. Know him? Marcus. Jason's college buddy. Now associate marketing director at Vanguard, our biggest rival. What are they discussing? I asked. Still digging. Rumor says Marcus is whining a few of your mid-level scalp be poaching. Could be intel fishing. Noted. I hung up. Jason, you weep apologies in person while cutting deals with the enemy. Fine. Let's play. I opened a secure email to our general counsel. Sweep every ping between Jason and any outsider, especially Vanguard in the last quarter. Crosscheck who downloaded unreleased confidential pitch decks. Top priority. Full report in 72 hours. The general counsel pinged back inside a minute. Jamie, perfect timing. IT flagged 3 pre-release deck downloads from what used to be Jason's workstation. I set the phone down. Worse than infidelity. Worse than theft. He's colluding. 2 days later, Jason stepped into my office. Fake humility gone. Eyes iced over. He'd seen Brielle's public evisceration. Gossip channels had replayed the footage within hours. Why am I here? He asked. Tone flat. Almost amused. 2 items. I slid a single sheet across the desk. 1. Updated divorce agreement. You refused once. The terms are sweeter now, meaning you walk away with nothing. Sign and exit clean. Or audit forwards everything to prosecutors. He didn't touch the paper. Item 2. I opened a folder. 3 confidential pitch decks were pulled from your old desktop. Metadata doesn't lie. Nor do the coffee shop security cams of you and Marcus swapping drives. His right hand twitched. I have no idea what you're talking about. I counted to 5. Jason, chance 1 you squandered. Chance 2 you used to stab me. Here's the last fork. Ink the papers and disappear. Or face audit. Legal. And digital forensics crawling up your life until you're unemployable. A thin laugh leaked from him. Olivia, you think you've mapped every tunnel. He stepped closer. You know why Marcus backs me? He's fronting a buyer group starving to swallow sterling, not partner. Purchase. They're already courting your minority holders. Not all of them share your backbone. Knock me down and you still won't own the battlefield. I watched the tantrum. Are you finished? Olivia, don't test me. Jason, Do you actually grasp this company's cap table? Confusion flickered. The 8% you flaunt was a wedding token. Want to guess how much I registered under my name? Every minority you and Marcus have approached adds up to 12. I personally hold 67. Round up the entire outside posse, you still can't convene a legal shareholder meeting. You wonder why every major decision here has always been mine. Because from day one Sterling belonged to me. You warmed a VP chair only because I allowed it. I rounded the desk until we stood toe to toe. The Marcus angle. Already archived emails. USB handoffs. Timestamps. Expense reports. All with legal. Your mystery investors. Half got cold feet once they heard you looted the treasury. Care to call their bluff? All color left his face. Olivia. You can't do this. I said it already, last chance. Sign or not. His hand trembled. His eyes flicked from my face to the agreement on the desk. Then back again. Finally he stepped forward and picked up the pen. When he signed, the nib snagged on the final stroke, leaving a crooked tail on the paper. He slammed the pen down. Olivia, the thing I'll regret most in my life is ever meeting you. I looked at him. Let's go. Alex, as of today, you have nothing more to do with Sterling Group. He turned and walked out without looking back. After the door shut, Maya came in. Jamie. He signed. Signed. When does legal move? Today. We run the 14 million recovery and the trade secret leak on parallel tracks. What about Brielle? The 2 condos and the car were bought with company money. Have legal send a demand letter 30 days to return every dollar or refile civil charges. Got it. When Maya left, I leaned back in my chair and closed my eyes. 3 years. From intern to VP. From nothing to a house. A car. Shares. I gave him everything. And he used it to bankroll another woman. Now I was taking it all back. Down to the last cent. My phone chimed. A message from Nicole. The pitch clips are still trending. A couple of trade reporters want interviews, want them. Pass. Keep it low. Copy that. Also, Marcus quit Vanguard this afternoon. Quit. Yeah. Word is Vanguard's CEO found out about his side games and cut him loose. They don't want war with Sterling. So Marcus is the sacrificial pawn. Jason, no. Probably not yet. When he realizes his biggest backer just evaporated. The show should be fun. I set the phone down. One by one. No one was getting away. Jason didn't move out immediately after signing. He stayed 2 more days. Locked in the guest room. Mrs. John said he barely ate. Every so often something crashed against the inside of the door. On the 3rd morning he finally appeared. He stood in the entry hauling a single suitcase. I was having breakfast at the table. He glanced at me. Said nothing. I said nothing. He reached the door. Hand on the knob. Lingered a few seconds. Olivia. You'll regret this. I put down my chopsticks and looked at him. Jason. The one who'll regret is you. Not me. He squeezed the handle. Then pushed the door open. It shut with a soft click, like even his last scrap of strength wasn't enough for a proper slam. 1 week later, the divorce was finalized. Legal's money chase was rolling. Brielle's 2 condos were already frozen. The car impounded. Her tear-jerker post claiming victimhood had been deleted. Sympathy in the comments had turned into a flood of ridicule. Clips of the pitch meeting sliced into bit-sized videos and ping-ponged through industry WhatsApp groups. The most viral one froze on me saying, "No pregnancy detected." The top liked comment read, "If you're gonna fake it, at least bribe a clinic first." Brielle's rap sheet resurfaced. Someone who knew about her stunt 3 years earlier posted the whole story. Same play. New company. Bigger, ask 30 grand last time. 14 million this round. Below that. This isn't dating. It's professional extortion. Her name in Eastbrook circles was basically toxic. No firm would touch her. Jason wasn't faring better. After leaving Sterling, he cold-called competitors for a management seat. But the pitch video was everywhere. HR departments typed his name, and the top hit was embezzled company funds to keep a mistress. Exposed by wife on stage. Nobody wanted the liability. Then he heard Marcus had been fired. Nicole said he rang Marcus a dozen times that day. Zero answers. His final shelter had collapsed. End of the month. Diane showed up again. This time there was no scene. She sat in my living room. Cupping tea. Mrs. Lou poured. Looking nothing like the last visit. No more bluster. Just restless fingers lifting and resetting the teacup. Olivia. I know Jason behaved like scum. Punished and scolded as he deserves. But you two were husband and wife. After the divorce he's got nothing. Can't land a job. Just drinks alone every day. For old time's sake. Could you leave him some path forward? I studied her. Auntie. Last time you barged into my office demanding why I demoted Jason to driver. Today the wording's different. The message identical. Whatever happens. You folk in the Sterling family never think Jason is wrong. Diane opened her mouth. I didn't mean. Have you once asked Jason where that 14 million came from? Ever asked if the woman's pregnancy was real? Asked him about stealing our pitch deck and shopping it to the competition? Diane said nothing. You haven't asked a single question. You just asked me to leave a path. Auntie. He sealed every path with his own hands. I gave him 3 chances. First, he knelt, apologized, then ran to Brielle to hide the money. Second, pretended to repent while plotting with a rival to gut my company. Third and last, signed the agreement and still warned me. You'll regret it. Each time he chose. Olivia, finish your tea and head home. I can't manage Jason anymore. He's an adult. He steers his own life. But hear this. I held her gaze. Whatever becomes of him, don't ever come to me again. We are absolutely nothing to each other now. Diane sat a long while. Finally she rose, handbag in hand, and left without a word. When the door shut, her back looked decades older than when she'd arrived. Another week. The story should have ended there. But it didn't. That evening, as I was leaving the office, Maya knocked and entered, tablet in hand. Jamie, take a look. On screen was a local forum post, half an hour old. Already hundreds of replies. The headline was lurid. Olivia's rise. Was her first million clean, long, photo-heavy, written like a serious exposé. The core claim, 8 years ago, when I launched Sterling. The 10 million seed check had no clear source. It hinted I'd landed the money through improper means from an investor named Vincent, attaching murky screenshots of wire transfers and a half-legible contract photo. The kicker paragraph dripped innuendo. A fresh college grad, how does she score a Nostrings 10 million? Whatever the backstory, it dwarfs the Jason sideshow. Comments were already speculating. The nastiest one sat at the top. I read to the end. Set the tablet down. Trace the poster. We're on it. Anonymous account. But IT says they can track the sign-up phone. Timeline. Tonight. Fastest. Good. Also get me Vincent. Maya paused. Mr. Fong. I think he's retired overseas. I have his number. Set up a video call soonest possible. Understood. 11 that night. IT delivered. Phone number behind the account. Registered to Marcus. When Maya said the name, I wasn't even surprised. Jobless. Cornered. Jason ran back to Marcus. Marcus. Fired from Vanguard but still wired into the old boys club with plenty of dirty tricks on speed dial. His brainstorm. If they couldn't beat Olivia Heaton, torch her reputation instead. Question her origin story. Stir public heat. Keep her scrambling. Smarter than anything Jason could hatch on his own. What they didn't know. Vincent's investment was the cleanest dollar I'd ever touched. Next morning, Vincent picked up on video. White-haired at 60 plus. Vigorous. Framed by calligraphy scrolls in his study. Olivia. Long time. Uncle Fong. Long time. Need a favor. I sent him the forum screenshots. He read for 3 minutes and laughed. What kind of fiction is this? Someone's casting doubt on that seed check you gave me 8 years back. I remember every cent. You won the youth startup contest first place. I was a judge. Afterward I sought you out because your deck was the best that year. The investment contract was drafted by my lawyers. Wires routed through my finance team. I need you to go public. Easy. I'll have counsel issue a formal statement. Attach the original agreement and bank records. I'll sign and seal, use it however you like. Also, he said, eyeing me through the screen. You know how many people I still know in Ventureland? 2 calls could nuke that garbage post. But I suppose you don't want the easy way. Uncle knows me. So what do you have planned? I want the rumormonger to confess himself. He smiled. Same girl as 8 years ago, never lose a penny. Tell me what else you need. After hanging up, I told Maya 2 things. First, when Vincent's statement and evidence package were ready, we hold them. Second, send Marcus a cease and desist letter. Don't mention the post, simply state, Sterling Group has discovered suspected misappropriation of trade secrets and will pursue all remedies. No names. But he'll know. Objective. Rattle him. A frightened man makes bigger mistakes. Bigger mistakes deserve a final, single blow. 3 days. Marcus took the bait harder. He didn't retreat. He escalated. The next day 3 fresh posts hit the forum. All smears. One claimed my real estate holdings were shady. Another accused early-stage tax evasion. The last most lurid insinuated Vincent and I had an improper relationship. Same writing ticks. Shakier and sloppier. He was panicking. Nicole pinged me. Marcus approached 2 big WE media accounts today. Paid them to blast his threads. Combined fee. 80 grand. Did he pay? Already wired. They'll post tomorrow. Good. I thought. Nicole, can you reach those account ops? Yep. Why? Pass them a note. Sterling Group can offer exclusive material way hotter than what they've bought. We'll deliver before noon tomorrow. What material? The truth. Noon the next day. The 2 influencer accounts published their articles at the same time, but the content wasn't the takedown piece Marcus had paid 80 grand for. Instead, it was a full investigative feature titled, The Sterling Smear That Backfired. Anatomy of a Fired Employee's Failed Revenge. It carried Vincent's signed statement and every investment receipt. It carried the award records and judge roster from the startup contest that year. It carried the phone tracing report proving Marcus posted the anonymous attacks. It carried the 80 grand transfer slips to the 2 influencers. It even printed chat screenshots between Marcus and Jason. Tech support had pulled them from Jason's company-issued laptop before it was wiped. The screenshots spelled it out like a script. What story to concoct? Which angle to exploit? How best to muddy the water? The last paragraph read, a rumor just needs one mouth to begin. The truth needs a marathon to finish. But sometimes the truth travels even faster. Within 24 hours each article broke 100,000 views. The comment sections were unanimous. Guy like that deserves to stay unemployed. Jason and Marcus match made in trailer trash heaven. Jam. I.e. showed restraint. I'd have sued them into the ground. By that afternoon every slander thread on Eastbrook's message boards was scrubbed. Marcus's number was tagged malicious account and permanently banned. The 80 grand he'd coughed up amounted to free advertising for Sterling. At 3 p.m., Jason ran. Gee, I declined. He texted, Olivia, you went nuclear. I typed one word, rot. Then I blacklisted him. That night Nicole took me to dinner. She lugged a bottle of red expensive. Here's to being free again. I smiled but said nothing. She filled both glasses. Tapped mine with hers. Honestly, your last few months outdid any soap opera. Cheating, fake pregnancy, embezzlement, collusion, libel. Your ex committed every sin on the spreadsheet. He's just stupid. And you're ice cold. She stared at me. Still. You've earned it. I sipped. Nicole, thanks for running cover. None of that. You're worth it. Not just billable. Her expression turned serious. One warning. Shoot. The exposé made you famous. Half the industry's watching, some to gawk, some to partner. But there's also a wait-and-see crowd. Such as Knight. Their marketing director dropped a hint last week. Huge branding rollout brewing. They're vetting teams. Sterling sits at the top of their shortlist. But the libel headlines spooked a few board members. They're weighing a swap. Decision yet? Nope. Early next month they're hosting a brief out for finalists. Nail it and the contract is yours. Flub it and it goes to option 2, which is Quinn Ventures. Quinn, CEO. Rachel, the woman famous for eating men and competitors raw. Got it. Back home, I opened my laptop and started collating Sterling's project data for the past 2 years. Tomorrow, the business team would pull Knight's corporate profile. From this moment on, Jason was a ghost. The next battleground was ain't the bedroom, it was the boardroom. 2 weeks later, Knight orientation, 36th floor skybox overlooking half of Eastbrook. I brought Maya and strategy director Linja. At sign-in, I spotted Rachel. She'd marched in with 4 aides, one more than my side. Seeing me, she approached. All smiles. Jamie, long time. Rachel, I read about the mess. Must have been rough running that company solo while your personal life blew up. Ancient history. Good. History is for textbooks. Today is war. She scanned the room. Night is up for grabs. I came loaded. So did I. Then may the best woman win. She sauntered back to her row. The session began. Project Director Eric outlined the scope. Tricity brand integration. 18 months. $80 million budget, biggest in the sector for 2 years running. 3 finalists. 15 minutes each. He ventures first. Rachel took the stage. Her deck was flawless. Exhaustive data. Crisp logic. Show-stopping visuals. Applause followed. Candidate 2 was a boutique studio middling deck. Clearly filler. Then me. I stepped up holding nothing. Eric. Expecting a USB drive or clicker. Blinked. Rachel's eyebrow lifted. Morning. Olivia. I prepped a deck. Not going to pitch it. Silence. Decks are static. Markets breathe. Showing you slides that look perfect today and stale in 90 days is pointless. So I'll tell you a true story. 2 months ago, Sterling imploded. Senior exec gone rogue. Funds siphoned. Competitor infiltration. Viral libel. Word spread. 3 accounts called to sever ties. 1 already invoked the termination clause. 18 million total. Lose that and our cash flow flatlines. I didn't beg. I told them, exercise, you're out. It's your right. Give me 30 days. If Sterling still looks terminally ill, I'll sign whatever papers you want. 30 days. None of them left. In fact, the firm that wanted out extended for 2 more years. Because during those 4 weeks I executed 3 moves. 1 completed a forensic audit and staff purge in 7 days, every rotten limb amputated. 2 rolled out a live compliance platform in 14, every cent tracked. Every flow transparent. 3 landed 2 new clients in 20, owner revenue made up for every stolen dollar. That isn't a proposal. That is done history. I'm not here to dazzle you with mock-ups. I came to prove that Sterling can be shot, stabbed, and left for dead yet still get up and bill. That, gentlemen, is the criterion you hire on. I paused. My deck. It's on paper. I'll have it couriered to your office. But paper doesn't win $80 million wars, people do. Jordan. I returned to my seat. 3 beats of silence. Then applause, longer and louder than Rachel's. Eric's gaze had shifted from polite to predatory. Rachel still smiled. But her nails dented the leather folder beneath the table. Afterward, Eric caught me by the elevator bank. Jamie, forget the deck, what you said upstairs is enough. Decision Monday. See you then. Off the record. You weren't the slickest. You were the only one who radiated certainty. Riley. On the ride down, Maya turned to me. Jamie. That was savage. Just the truth. Truth always sounds braver when most folks would hide behind charts. Took me 10 years to own it. Through the glass the city blurred. 3 years beside Jason, I thought I was nurturing a marriage. In hindsight, I was cultivating a single asset. Sterling. Sterling never betrayed me. Monday. Phone rang on schedule. Jamie, Knight is yours. Contract team will reach out this week. 8000000. I sat alone for a moment. Then texted Nicole. Dinner tonight and me. Reason. Night locked in. Then we're drinking stupidly expensive. Evening. I left HQ and crossed the garage. Jason was slouched against my car. Gaunt in a crumpled jacket. Nothing like the polished VP he used to play. Olivia. I stopped 2 steps away. How did you get in? Security still recognizes me. I'll have that fixed. Just hear me. I've nothing left to hear. 5 minutes. You get 2. He stepped closer. I know what I did, stole from you. Lied. Set Marcus on you. I paid. But Olivia. I did love you. I stared at him. You loved the title I gave you. The Amex Black. The corner office. When I repossessed those things, your first thought wasn't might was how to claw them back. That isn't love. His mouth opened. Nothing came. Time. I brushed past. Unlocked the door. Olivia. Come near me again and I'll have security press charges. I slid in. Ignition growl filling the concrete cave. In the rearview he shrank to a smudge. The car merged into evening traffic. City lights flicking on like a standing ovation. My phone pinged Eric again. Jamie. Contracts finalized. Also. Our chairman requests a private meeting next week. He's excited. I set the phone on the passenger seat and accelerated. 3 months ago on my wedding anniversary I'd sat before a cold feast in an empty dining room. Missing that dinner might be the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. I pressed the throttle. Asphalt stretched ahead, bright and wide open.